Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. This past Tuesday, Election Day, November 8th, 2016, prior to the outcome of the election, in the mainstream media, it was being reported that Marilyn Manson, the musician, has a new music video upcoming for his upcoming album. The song is called Say10, a play on the word Satan. His upcoming album will be his 10th album. The news was for the single that he's putting out for this album, there's a music video with it, and in the music video, there is imagery of someone looking like Donald Trump being murdered. And in addition to that, Marilyn Manson's looking at the Holy Bible. He's looking specifically at the book of Revelation, and he's ripping the pages out of the Bible. He's destroying the Bible. Revelation, the final book of the Bible, the book of prophecy and destruction of the earth. Revelation showing the destruction of the Bible, the destruction of someone who looks like Donald Trump. If you missed the video I put out yesterday on the Trump-Pence ticket and the play on words for trumpets, which are the instruments of warning in the book of Revelation, I will link that in the description. This music video is further proof of what I am trying to wake people up to. We are being played as a society. Donald Trump's fate is planned. His presidential run will not end with the end of his term. It will end with a staged, planned assassination. This has been foretold in a number of news stories, predictive programming put out by this same gang that runs our media, runs our entertainment industries. If you don't know who that is, it's the Zionist Jews. In Revelation, this same book of the Bible, it says in the end times, the false Jews will rule. Their name is the synagogue of Satan. Now here's the song Say10. Let's go through all of this. By the end of this video, you will understand the parallels between Marilyn Manson at this moment in history, Donald Trump, him being the 45th president, and the Holy Bible, which concludes with Revelation. So this news was November 8th, 2016. A date with 55 numerology. The word Satan, using the alphabetic order. In case you're new here, this is Gematria. Gematria is an important practice to Kabbalah, which is Jewish mysticism in numbers. We're talking about the false Jews, the synagogue of Satan, those who control media, entertainers, those who script and plan things by the numbers. This is how they do it. Date numerology, Gematria and words, all throughout history, that this gang has been in power, which is since before the beginning of this nation. This is how things have been done. From the elections of presidents, to the start of wars, to the end of wars, to the creation of movies, TV programs, songs, albums, again and again. This same gang has been putting out things by the numbers. You'd be amazed how many movie titles, music albums have released on a date that corresponds with the numerology, meaning the title has the same gematria as the date numerology. Anyway, this song Say10 making the headlines on a date with 55 numerology when the word Satan equals 55. Synagogue of Satan. This is going to be his 10th studio album. When you write out the word 10 using the alphabetic order, T is the 20th letter, E the 5th, and the 14th, 10 equals 39. The Jewish faith goes by the 39 books in the Old Testament. If you've never read the Bible, the Old Testament, the first 39 books, what the Jewish faith goes by. The New Testament, 27 books, what the Christians go by. Jewish 39 books, Christian 27 books. And the 27th book is Revelation, which is based on the 39 books of the Old Testament. I've always thought that's interesting that the book that concludes the Christian part of the Bible is based on what's in the Old Testament. That one's always been a mystery to me. Anyhow, in the 39 books of the Old Testament is where the story of the 10 Commandments come from. In history, James Madison, he made 39 proposals on a date with 39 numerology that became the 10 Bill of Rights. The name Madison equals 39. Again, from the beginning of this nation's history up to the present, everything run by the same numerical code. This album is coming out on Valentine's Day, the word Valentine, Gematria of 39. We'll be talking about how Donald Trump, who went to a Catholic university and a Catholic school prior to that, just like Marilyn Manson, who also came up in a Catholic family, we'll be talking about the Catholics, the Jesuits. They're all under this same Masonic Zionist umbrella. The Catholic Church, once upon a time, was created as controlled opposition within Christianity, changing the way people even worshiped. Christians used to worship on Saturday as it says they should in the Bible. They now worship on Sunday because of the Catholic Church. Anyhow, moving on. Marilyn Manson, his birth name is Brian Hugh Warner. This is his birth name. Name Gematria of 167. Very interesting that that's the 39th prime number. 39. Big number on this album. Say10, Synagogue of Satan, going by the 39 books. By the way, the word Satan in English Gematria, also called Sumerian Gematria, also called Satanic Gematria, is where you multiply times 6. So 55 times 6 is 330, a lot like 33. This album will be coming out on Valentine's Day, a date with 33 numerology. And of course, Valentine's Day, Catholic tradition. Notice that Marilyn Manson, born January 5th, 1969, meaning he's currently 47 years old. We'll talk about why that's so special. 47 is the number very much associated with the presidency. Donald Trump, election night, was in Rockefeller Plaza. He was at the Midtown Hilton Hotel, which is 47 floors tall. Hillary Clinton was at the Javits Center. Javits Center equals 47. President 47, Christian 47. This video has symbolism of now who's the president, or president-to-be, president-elect, being assassinated, and also the Christian Bible being Torah, with him specifically looking at Revelation, the final book of the Christian portion. The words authority and president, Gematria 47. The article right here from the Daily Beast. Marilyn Manson's shocking Trump video. The acclaimed glam rocker's latest music video for Say10 features him laying waste to a man who looks an awful lot like Donald Trump. Watch a very NSFW clip from the video here. And I'm not hip enough to know what that acronym means. But the article, November 8, 16, the date with 55 numerology. The word say is the 19th letter. S is 19, A is the 1st, Y is the 25th. Add that together, 19 plus 1 plus 25, it sums to 45. Trump just elected the 45th president. Holy Bible equals 45. Say10. The Daily Beast writing this article, Gematria 50, just like America, just like Donald, possibly part of the reason they covered the story. I think they were the first people to publish about this. Put the song clip out there. With regards to this coming on November 8th and foreshadowing the death of Trump, Lincoln, the first presidential assassination, was once re-elected on November 8th. 118. The word death in Jewish Gematria equals 118. The initials for Marilyn Manson, MMM. M's the 13th letter in numerology that breaks down to 4, so the initials MM are 44. The word kill, 44. Shooting, 44. Abraham equals 44. The last presidential assassination was John F. Kennedy, the 35th president, the only Catholic president. Catholic equals 35. JFK was also the 44th term president. When you write out the word 44, it sums to 144. JFK died on the first day of Sagittarius, which equals 144. The first president to die in office, William Henry Harrison, died on April 4th. When you write out April 4th as a word, it sums to 144, just like 44. Bobby Kennedy, the brother of JFK, died at 1:44 in the morning on June 6th. So we're told. 1968, same year MLK was assassinated on April 4th. Anyhow, these numbers 44 and 144 are very much associated with killing and death. In the in the book of Revelation, it talks about the number 144,000. 144 also represents time throughout history. People have been killed again and again by these same numbers. They're coded into this artist, Marilyn Manson, who has this music video foreshadowing an assassination of a president. They have him quoted here. This is Marilyn Manson. As an artist, my duty is to ask the questions. The viewer must answer them. You know? What's he trying to say? As I've revealed before, these entertainers, these celebrities, a lot of them are connected to this gang, and they have the foreknowledge of what's coming in this world. Marilyn Manson, very likely one of these people. Marilyn Manson, someone who's been very influential. Since I've been in middle school, people have been talking about Marilyn Manson. You know? For those of you who don't know Marilyn Manson, I still remember the day I was in middle school and some kid came up to me and said, "Hey, did you hear that Marilyn Manson took out his ribs so he could suck his own dick?" You know? These are all things all of us have heard, or at least most of us grown up in this world. Marilyn Manson, he's just always been that person with the buzz news, doing the, absurd things, attracting people's attention. After Columbine, they blamed the Columbine attack on him. Remember that? Everybody was saying it was because of Marilyn Manson. Marilyn Manson at that time, he got my respect because he came back and he said, "Well, wait a minute, you guys are all blaming me. Do you know that the school's right across the street from Lockheed Martin, which builds all the missiles that murder people throughout the world? Did you know that the parents at that school all work at Lockheed Martin in the military-industrial complex? How do you think them working in that field impacts their children?" I thought it was really nice that Marilyn Manson said that. Perhaps Marilyn Manson's just in the gang and he was told to make those valid points as a way of mocking us. We live in a society that worships violence. We're a war empire. Almost all of our entertainment, violence-based. Think about how hard it is to find a movie without a gunshot or an explosion or someone being killed. What's our fascination with paying for entertainment and being entertained by these things? In this world, you see, people, they don't seek knowledge or information, but they'll seek the next Hollywood explosion murder scene. The director for this video, we're going to watch the clip in a moment, his name is Tyler Shields. In Gematria, that sums to 156, like the Masonic motto, as above, so below, like when you write out the number 33, like when you write 666, special number here. 33, again, connects to Say10, like Say10. Donald Trump was announced as the president on the 27-year anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall, November 9th, a date that's written 9/11 in most parts of the world. 911 is the 156th prime number. And if you didn't know, when 911 2001 happened, 911 had been the national emergency dialing code for 33 years, since 1968, the same year World Trade Center construction began in New York, the same year George W. Bush graduated from Yale and Skull and Bones, the Masonic Order, 33 years before becoming president. I'll link this down below if you want to read the entire article. Marilyn Manson says he doesn't vote because the choices are cat shit and dog shit. And as far as entertainers go, Marilyn Manson, I'm not into his music really that much. I'm not into his whole appearance. But oftentimes when I hear him speak, he says things that are right on point. Like what he said back in the day about Columbine, like saying the reason he doesn't vote. But that's the way it is. They always give us some truth along with the deception. His quote, "I don't think that as an artist I can make as much of a difference voting as I can the commentaries I make in music on my next record. Say10, he explained." So we'll watch the clip of the video. Here are some still images from it. He's holding the Holy Bible. He's going through the pages. He ends up ripping them out. Holy Bible equals 45, just like Berlin Wall. Donald Trump running on building the wall, announced as the president on the 27-year anniversary. Not a coincidence, becoming the 45th president. Say10 in Gematria sums to 45. And just so you know, when you put this in the calculator, it doesn't add the numbers. It just adds the letters. Say is 45. It's almost like a trick in a way, too. 45 plus 10 is 55, just like Satan in Gematria. I think this is a clever play on words. And again, this gang that runs the industries, the entertainment industries, they practice Gematria as a religion. They probably patted themselves on the back when they came up with Say10, releasing this story on the date with 55 numerology. Again, the Synagogue of Satan goes by the 39 books in the Old Testament. On the night of the election, both Trump and Hillary Clinton were in the Hell's Kitchen neighborhood in New York City, the first time since 1944 that the two contestants for president did that. The winner of that election was FDR, who would die not long after in 1945. He would die in the fourth state, Georgia, one of two with Gematria 44. FDR also died on the 33rd parallel in Warm Springs, Georgia. Marilyn Manson has the same Gematria as New York City. Think about it. New York City election, this story, the same day. In the beginning of the video, it shows him looking at the Bible, and if you look at this, before I took the screen capture, it's a little more clear. But if you look at this carefully, if you zoom this in, it is Revelation. You can make out the A-T-I-O-N, Ation. There's no other book like that in the Bible. Watch the music video, you'll see. He's looking at Revelation, final book of the Bible, book of prophecy and destruction. The name Manson in Pythagorean Gematria sums to 22. Revelation has 22 chapters. He starts tearing out pages. The first word in the song is devils. And devils has Gematria of 71 like Catholic. Again, within the Catholic Church, there is the Jesuit order. Very deceptive order, connected to the assassination of Lincoln. Again, the last presidential assassination, the only Catholic president, Catholic 35 the small way, JFK, the 35th president, 44-term president. The shortest pope in the history of the Catholic Church was 33 days. The pope was found dead in his bed on the 33rd day. It was a date with 44 numerology. When you write out the number 44, it sums to 144. We talked about that. The only other number that's that way is 71. When you write out 71, it sums to 144. Marilyn Manson grew up in Ohio and was raised Catholic. So let's check this out. I'm going to put the volume all the way down so they don't delete this video. I want you to hear the chorus, though. We'll turn it up at the very end. I know you can play a little bit of this, but just watch the imagery. Let's just watch in silence. Here it is. Looking at the Holy Bible. I can make this bigger. I can get myself out of here. Tossing the Bible around. Pages of the Bible. Notice how they illuminate the letters of the Holy Bible. You guys notice how demonic so many music videos have become lately? You know, Marilyn Manson's always been out there, but now even the pop stars, their videos, dark imagery, dark lyrics. I mean, seriously, Truth Seeker, what kind of world are we living in? I mean, just how obscene is this, you know? It's all just so obscene. These people just putting everything in front of our face right now, just mocking us. And the reason they're doing it is because they know almost everybody's asleep. You know, they can put the truth right in front of people's face, they'll never see it. Just like on September 11th, from day one, they put the whole truth in front of everybody's face about what a big joke it was. They had people out there reporting on the scene, telling them they couldn't find the planes, they couldn't find the bodies, they couldn't find the luggage, but they had recovered cloth turbans believed to have been worn by the terrorists. They found the paper passports And they also recovered the box cutter knives. I mean, come on, people. They can't find the plane, but they can find all those things, you know. I knew from that day forward things were just going to get worse and worse. Here we are. Donald Trump is the president. Marilyn Manson, the day of the election, coming out with his new music video, showing him with his head cut off. Somebody sent this to me January 7th, 2015. This is earlier when I started my work. I was talking about the number 44, the significance of MM, this abbreviation. Somebody saw a video and said, whoa, I was just looking at Rolling Stone, and there's this article, it's page 44, where it starts with Marilyn Manson. He's got a gun to his head. He points out that the name of the man who wrote the article, the last name Hedegaard, Gematria 44, just like where the page starts. You know? What else is so interesting about this is the date it came out, January 15th. Donald Trump is going to become president with the 115th Congress. Killing in Jewish gematria equals 115. In 2000, on January 15th, Donald Trump came out with his own book. That's the book where he wrote about how Osama bin Laden was going to attack the World Trade Centers and it was going to be massive compared to the 93 World Trade Center bombing. Donald Trump wrote that in January. Well, he wrote that in 99. The book came out January 15th, 2000. 1999 is also the year where Prince was in Europe, his final show on the tour, and he told the people there he didn't want to go back to America because Osama was getting ready to drop the bomb, and then he went into a song singing those words. But all of this is predictive programming. You know, when this person sent me this in January, oh, that's how it was. This person saw that this was going to be the January 15th article, and they sent it to me before it even happened. But just anyway, you know, this is why I document, because back then I had no idea that this was going to be pointing to Donald Trump and the presidency and a foretold assassination, but I really think that's what this all is. I think that's what this Rolling Stone article was about on January 15th, page 44, you know? So again, Donald Trump running on building a wall. By the numbers, he is announced as the president on the 27-year anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall. Notice how Donald Trump equals 48 like wall. Notice it's also been 48 years since 1968. This master plan went down with 911. You know, now Donald Trump getting elected on November 9th, the other 911. With regards to it being the 27-year anniversary, the New Testament is 27 books. The first book is Matthew, which equals 27. The 27th is Revelation, where the trumpets are the warning. Trumpets. Holy Bible 45, Berlin Wall 45, Mike Pence 45. Donald Trump, if he doesn't make it to Inauguration Day, Mike Pence will be the 45th president. Donald Trump, the day he's born, a date with 66 numerology, Revelation, the 66th book of the Bible, from his GOP convention to Election Day, 113 days, trumpet, 113. That convention was also July 18th, which can be written 18/7, like the 187 homicide code. From that day to Inauguration Day is 187 days. Lady Gaga, another musician, another puppet by the numbers. Just as a reminder, Lady Gaga equals 58. November 9th, yesterday, they had her out in front of the 58-story Trump Tower to protest. Remember, Freemasonry equals 58, Secret Society 58, the last Republican president, which was maybe even dumber than Donald Trump. George W. Bush 58. Freemasonry, a network for men. A man beat a woman in the 58th election. All day they've kept up the vote totals at this, 290 to 232. Somehow it still isn't finished. That's a difference of 58. I think they're just putting it in our face. Hillary has more popular vote. The last time a president had more popular vote but lost the election was George W. Bush, whose birthday is a span of 68 days before September 11th. Not a coincidence. 68 was the year. Donald Trump, his book, The America We Deserve. Thanks to this subscriber, Trav W. Always look for his comments. Brilliant guy, comments a lot. January 15th. the day his book came out, just like the Marilyn Manson article with the gun to his head, page 44. Donald Trump, from the day his campaign began, June 16, 2015, to Election Day, 511 days. The reflection of 115. 511 is the number for Saturn in Jewish Gematria. The sum of the magic square of Saturn is 45. Donald Trump elected as the 45th president. Holy Bible, 45. Berlin Wall, 45. And just for the record, Donald Trump went to Fordham University, the Catholic Jesuit school. He's class of 64. So are so many of these politicians. Bernie Sanders, Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton. So many of these people, or they're not class of 64, but they all went to their Ivy League schools in 64. Israel equals 64. Zion 64. Thelema 64, which worships Saturn. Synagogue of Satan 64, the name for the false Jews from the book of Revelation. Israel, the Zionist false Jew state. The motto in Thelema is do what thou wilt equals 64. That's why they got so many of these agents from 64. It's like in 64 they chose their minions. Fordham University has the gematria of 227. The 227 is the 49th prime number. Revelation has gematria 49. When you divide 22 by 7, you get the number for pi, for cycles and circles. Important number to the game. So there it is, truth seeker. You know, it's Jesuits, it's Masons, it's Zionists, it's people in high places. This is our network that is selling us out, mocking us. Music videos, movies, books, news, and more. Isn't it amazing? I mean, how much more in your face could it be? The other thing I see, Truth Seeker, is in his song, he's saying, you say God, I say Satan, and he's saying, I'm trying to get you to ask questions. I almost feel like that's a good question that a lot of people in this country need to be asking, because I see a lot of people who say they worship God and they're Christian, but you look at the way they behave, the decisions they make, you know, my eyebrows are up. I have to say, yeah, what God are these people really worshiping, you know? Seems to me that many people who think they're Christian, they are certainly worshiping themselves and Satan. Seems like it's all about them, it's all ego. I mean, how can you be Christian and vote for the Republican Party? They're all about greed and selfishness and everything but what Jesus said. You never heard Jesus comment on abortion, and that's why most people who say they're Christian, they get sucked into the whole Republican thing. Anyway, all of this symbolism is coming for a reason. They're mocking us, they're making fun of us, they're playing on our ignorance. You know, Donald Trump says he's a Christian, but he says his favorite Bible verse is an eye for an eye. That's exactly what Jesus said you should never do. You're supposed to turn your cheek. And I'm not sure that's the best way either. But I don't claim to be a Christian. So anyway, Truth Seeker, that's it. Until next time.